University student. Together with some maths genius mates, they've plundered bookmakers and casinos around the world, betting $1 billion a year. Well, now the tax office is after them. But as David Richardson reports, they have an unusual ally in the fight over a $900 million tax bill.
It is an amazing story.
Well, look, there's absolutely no doubt that these guys have been one of the most successful syndicates in the history of gambling. There's no doubt about that.
They're the ultra-secret Aussie punters club that's plundered racetracks and gaming tables around the world. A group of mates, all mathematical geniuses, who bet billions of dollars a year. But they're now the target of a tax probe that threatens every punter and amateur gambler in this country.
It's coming in about 4 to 1, liking most works, right?
David Walsh is the unofficial leader of the gang, an art collector, philanthropist, the most visible member of this punters club.
Look out for Tassie, we're here to win.
Poker player George Mamikis, another member of the club. South Australian David Stakey, another poker champion. Barossa winemaker and punter Ray Gatt, and the biggest of them all, Zelko Ranacek, the man they call the Loch Ness Monster, who gambles $1 billion a year himself. Just 5 members of the club. There are 14 others, making tens of millions of dollars a year.
Their total turnover, I think it's pretty safe to say, is in the billions of dollars.
The Gamblers Club is Tasmania's best-kept secret. It began here at the University of Tasmania Maths Department when 3 maths whizzes got together to use their skill with numbers to make some easy money. From the University of Tasmania to the West Point Casino, almost 40 years ago, this was the only casino in the country. And it was here the original 3 members of the ultra-secret Gamblers Club first cut their teeth, playing recreational games like Keno for just a few dollars. But it was here they were to meet the man who would become the biggest member of their club and one of the biggest punters in the world. That man was Zelko Ranacek, another maths genius with a love of blackjack, Keno and horses. Their success was phenomenal. Being students, they played with small amounts, picking winning combinations at Keno and counting cards at blackjack, a legal but discouraged practice.
Every summer I come over here to play in the World Series, which is absolutely fantastic.
Fellow Tasmanian punter Andrew Scott has known the members of this secret gamblers club for more than 20 years. He plays poker against them around the world today and knows their tricks.
When the casino stopped allowing them to play blackjack, they got into horse racing, and at the end of the day, they've extended those principles. So they're looking for good value bets.
They met at this North Hobart pub and placed bets on horses, with every success betting more and more, adding more members to their club.
It just grew organically, and they just bet more and more and more, and they've won, and good luck to them.
Luck and persistence.
Known as the mathematics whiz kid.
Zelko won a record $7.5 million in 1994 playing Keno at this Sydney RSL after spending 6 days in this room, placing bets and working out the likely numbers. Since then, he's become the single biggest gambler on the planet. He bets $1 billion a year, but the Loch Ness Monster is rarely sighted. He doesn't grace the racetracks of the world he plunders. He and his wife Shelley Wilson lead a quiet life away from the spotlight. They now live here, 1 Hyde Park in London, the most prestigious address in the world. A 1-bedroom apartment here will set you back more than $10 million, a penthouse about $200 million. But from here, the Loch Ness Monster punts mostly online, tote agencies offering him massive rebates for his gambling dollar.
We have a very low profile and a team of unknowns, but...
George Mamikis and his poker mate David Stakey are regulars on the world poker stage, and David Walsh has become well known for his $200 million creation, the Museum of Old and New Art, or MONA. Built just outside Hobart at a cost of more than $70 million, it contains more than $100 million in art and books. In a year, it's become Tasmania's biggest tourist attraction, financed by some profits from the Gamblers Club. The Tasmanian Gamblers Club would have remained top secret if it wasn't for the Australian Tax Office. Normally the winnings from gambling are tax exempt, but the ATO believes this club is more a business than a hobby and is now demanding $900 million in unpaid taxes. That was enough to bring the members of this club out into the open.
There's more than a whiff of the ATO going after a high-profile, high-wealth individual, not unlike the Hogan case in recent years. So I do think that the ATO may be treating him unfairly.
The Gamblers Club has received support from a most unlikely place in its fight with the ATO, independent MP Andrew Wilkie, the man who wants to limit poker machine betting, is fighting for David Walsh and his mates.
I'm not anti-gambling. What I am also is passionately in support of a fair go for people, when there is a prima facie case that a government agency is treating someone unfairly, then there's a role for me to step in and to speak up.
Do you know the ATO on 4 separate occasions told this particular group it was not taxable, and now they're going back and changing their mind?
And that's just what's at stake. Many believe the attack on the Punters Club could lead to taxes on gambling winnings, even lotto, affecting tens of millions across the country.
No one knows what the ATO's intentions are here. Are they just to go after a very small number of very successful professional gamblers, or do they intend to extend it to all professional gamblers? Where do they intend to draw the line between professional and recreational gambling?
Records. Now an audit of the successful secret club is heading to court. Every punter in the country anxiously waiting for the result, but few are willing to bet against the world's best gambling syndicate.
And where do you draw the line? Is anyone who is a bit ahead each year, are they to be deemed a professional gambler? You know, the ruling and the action against David Walsh and his colleagues could perhaps turn the taxation treatment of professional gamblers on its head.
Yeah, where does it leave other punters? That's an interesting question that will no doubt be raised when the ATO takes the case to the federal court next month. That was David Richardson reporting. But now to the growing problem of